لبٹی کے لیے ونہا بها منح التہذیب للاکاذیب اور ان حقائق کو لے کر چلے جو تہذیب کے راستے میں نہ کہ جھوٹ کے راستے میں وهل هو في ذلك الا بمنزله من انتدب
بمنزلتی من انتدب
بمنزلة من انتدب لتعلیم او ہدى الى صراط مستقیم اور کیا وہ ہے اس کے بارے میں اور کیا وہ ہے اس کے بارے میں مگر اس شخص کے درجے پر جو تیار ہو تعلیم دینے کے لیے یا رہبری کرے صراط مستقیم کی طرف. ایک شعر علی اننی راد بان احمل الہوا واخلص منہ لا علی ولا لیا کے علاوہ اس کے یہ بات بھی ہے کہ میں خوش ہوں پسندیدہ چیز کو اٹھانے میں اور اس سے چھٹکارا لینے میں نہ میرے اوپر گناہ ہو نہ میرے لیے ثواب. وباللہ اعتد فیما اعتمد اور اللہ سے مدد چاہتا ہوں حاصل کرتا ہوں یا مدد چاہتا ہوں اس چیز میں جو جس پہ میں ارادہ کرتا ہوں. واعتصم مما یسم اور میں حفاظت چاہتا ہوں ان چیزوں سے جو عیبدار ہوں
ابدار کریں
عیبدار کریں. واسترشد الی ما یرشد اور میں راہ طلب کرتا ہوں اس چیزوں سے اس چیز کی طرف جو رہبری کرے. فمل مفزع الا الیہ اور پناہ کی جگہ نہیں ہے مگر اسی کی طرف. ولا الاستعانہ الا به اور نہیں مدد حاصل کرتا ہوں مگر اسی کی طرف. ولا التوفیق الا منہ اور نہ توفیق میں چاہتا ہوں مگر اسی کی طرف. ولا الموئل الا ہو اور نہ جائے پناہ ہے مگر اسی کی طرف. علیہ توکلت و الیہ انیب اور اسی پر بھروسہ رکھتا ہوں اور اسی کی طرف لوٹتا ہوں. وبہ نستعین اور اسی سے مدد مانگتے ہیں. وہو نعم المعین اور وہی بہترین مدد کرنے والا ہے.
ماشاءاللہ اچھا یاد کیا ہے. چلو تم سناؤ.
بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. ولم يسمع بمن نبى سمعه عن تلك الحكايات and comments will not be heard from the one whose ears have distanced themselves from these stories. أو
السما
أثم رواتها.
السما يوسم تأثيما نسبه إلى الإثم. اگر تو داڑھی بنائی نہیں آواز پاسو آجے یہ جو بیت کپیلی سے ایو کچھ بیت ہو
I did it a few days ago.
oh then na gelu me gelu ave mishkat mani be you can't sit in mishkat for 1 week, don't come in the evening lesson for 1 week.
أو أثم رواتها في وقت من الأوقات or classes its narrative is sinful in a time from the times. ثم إذا كانت الأعمال بالنيات then when the actions are according to intention. وبها إنعقاد العقود الدينيات and with the intention the contracts of deen are contracted. فأي حرج على من أنشأ منحى للتنبيه ولا للتنويه and which haraj is upon that which I create the salty things for awareness and not for decoration. وَنَحَا بِهَا
تم بھی کرو تو ڈیکوریشن کے بجائے ڈیسپشن کر دو. نہیں decorated something is decorated for deception is called tamwi.
And not for deception. وَنَحَا بِهَا مَنْحَ التَّهْذِيبِ لَلْأَكَاذِيبِ and he has taken by the road of straightening not for lies. وهل هو في ذلك إلا بمنزلة من انتدب لتعليم أو هدى إلى صراط مستقيم and is it for that except for of the one who responds
Is it for is he in this regard?
Is he in this regard except for the position of the one who responds for teaching or guiding to the straight path. على أنني راض بأن أحمل الهوى وأخلص منه لا علي ولا لي and apart from this I am pleased because I get to carry the things that I love and I get to escape from it, can you say, and I escape from it. It is not against me nor is it for me. Is it not a sin upon me and it's not a reward upon me. وَبِاللَّهِ أَعْتَذِرُ فِي مَا أَعْتَمِدُ and in Allah I gain strength from that which I gain strength in what I aim, وَأَعْتَصِمُ مِمَّا يَصِمُ, and I seek protection from what brings fault, وَأَسْتَرْشِدُ إِلَى مَا يَرْشِدُ, and I seek guidance to that which it guides. فَمَا الْمَفْزَعُ إِلَّا إِلَيْهِ, and there is no running except to him. وَلَا الْإِسْتِعَانَةُ إِلَّا بِهِ, and there is no seeking help except with him, with Allah Ta'ala. To Allah Ta'ala, وَلَا التَّوْفِيقُ إِلَّا مِنْهُ, and there is no tawfiq except from him. وَلَا الْمَوْئِلُ إِلَّا هُوَ, and there is no sanctuary except him. عَلَيْهِ تَوَكَّلْتُ وَإِلَيْهِ أُنِيبُ, and upon him I place my trust, and to him I turn. وَبِهِ نَسْتَعِينُ, and to him we seek help. وَهُوَ نِعْمُ الْمُعِينُ, and he is an excellent helper.
शुरू से याद करो चलो अभी याद कर लो you have 3 days Friday Saturday Sunday to go over the whole muqaddama and I'm going to listen to the whole muqaddama without Arabic, just translation, because reading Arabic takes too much time. There are sabak mein I tolerated it, but in Dawr I won't tolerate it. You have to start. Ya Allah, start look from the beginning. Open the first page. Oh Allah, we praise you for the bayan which you taught us and for the bayan which you inspired in us, just as we praise you for the blessings which you completed upon us and for the covering which you veiled, which you lowered upon us. And we take refuge in you from sharpness of the tongue and useless bakwas, just as we take refuge in you from the hardship of stuttering and from the disgrace of being speechless. And we seek protection from you or with you from falling into fitna by the exaggeration of the one praising us and the ignoring of the one who is easygoing and who turns his blind eye upon even our mistakes, just as we seek kifayat and protection in you from being a target for the belittling of the criticizer and from the hatkul fazeh, पर्दा फाड़ना, रुस्वा करने वाले के पर्दा फाड़ने से, tearing apart the veil by the disgracer and humiliator. And we seek forgiveness from you from our desires driving us towards the markets of doubts, just as we seek forgiveness of yours from from moving and transferring our steps to the spots of sins. And we ask for you the gift of tawfiq, which pulls us towards guidance, and a heart which turns around with haqq wherever haqq goes, and a tongue which is enumerated and which is which is enamored and beautified by silk and truthfulness, and a speech which is assisted with sound argument and dalil, and isabatan, and doing the correct stuff which removes the crookedness, and firm intention which overpowers the desires of nafs, and insight with which we can grasp the recognition of taqdeer, and that you aid us by guiding us towards learning, and you support us by helping us on expressing uh, our uh, our expressing our inner feelings properly, and you protect us from going crooked in narrating things, and you turn us away from foolishness, joking, so that we may be saved and become safe from the harvests of the tongue, and we are sufficed from the perils of uh, decorating speech. Then we do not come upon the ghat of sin, their bank of sin, and we do not stop at the place of regret, and we are not taken to task by any penalty or fine, nor by any reproach and rebuke. We are not forced to excuse due to a slip of the tongue, or therefore make this uh, make this tamanna and wish come true for us, and give us this maqsood and goal, and do not turn us away from your complete shade, and do not make us a piece of morsel and meat for the one who choose us, because we have stretched out to you the hand of begging, and we admit our lowliness in front of you and our need, and we have asked you to send down your immense karam and upon us, and your grace, which is uh, encompassing and covering everyone, by the pleading in asking, and by bidaatul amal, क्या तर्जमा क्या है बिदातुन पूंजी,
Peace,
उम्मीद की पूंजी है
peace of hope.
नहीं, पीस नहीं, पीस नहीं दे रहा, बिदातुन अमल उम्मीद की पूंजी के साथ, बिदातुन capital, by our capital of hope. Bidatun is the capital with which you start your business. Wajina bi bidatin musjatin. Peace bhi hai. Peace, bidatun means a piece, a qita as well. यहाँ शायद मुराद उससे बिदातुन से our capital, the only capital we have is hope from you. And then seeking the medium of Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the leader of mankind, and the interceder whose intercession will be accepted in Maidan Hashar, upon whom you seal the prophets, and whose rank you raised in Eliyin, and you described him in your Kitab-e Mubin. So you said, while you are the most truthful among those who speak, we did not send you except as a mercy for the universe. Ya Allah, send your durood and rahmat on him and on his family who were rightly guided, and his companions who elevated the deen, and make us followers of his seerat and their seerat, and benefit us with his muhabbat and their muhabbat, all of them. Indeed, you are potent over everything, and you are worthy of accepting our dua. After Hamdu Sana, indeed, um, there um, the discussion came in some majalis of adab. That adab, the wind of which has cooled down in this era, and the lanterns of which have extinguished. चल पड़ा मकामात का तज़किरा. They moved on the mention of that maqamat which was innovated by Badius Zaman and Allama Hamzan rahimahullah, and who related to Abul Fath al-Iskandari its writing, and to Isa ibn Hisham its narrating, and they are both unknown, not recognized, and nakira, who do not become marifa. Then it was indicated to me by that being whose indicating is also an order, and whose obedience is ghanimat and booty, towards the fact that I author few maqamat in which I follow the footsteps of Badi'uz Zaman, though um, an ox with weak ribs cannot catch the finishing line of a strong horse. So I reminded him of that statement which is made regarding the person who connects two words or who threads one couplet or two couplets. And I seeked Mafi from this maqam in which the fahm is bewildered and the wahm goes beyond limits, and the depth of intelligence is checked out, and the value of a person in fazilat becomes evident, and the writer of the book is forced to be like the one who gathers firewood by night and who pulls ahead um, cavalry and infantry. And very seldom is the case that an excessive talker gains safety or his mistakes are forgiven. However, when he did not fulfill my need by um, cancelling out this request, and he did not let me off from writing this maqala, I responded to his call like the response of an obedient person, and I spent in confirming what he said, what he ordered, the effort of one who has the ability to do something. And I wrote in spite of what I suffered from a still tabiyat, still tabiyat and mizaj, and extinguished zakawat and intelligence, and dried out soch and thinking, and anxieties which were um, tiring, for 50 maqamat, which consisted of real talk and jest and uh, eloquent fasih alfaz and um, sorry, barik and simple words and fasih and eloquent words, and the shining stuff of fasahat balagat bayan and its diamonds and pearls, and the salty stuff, meaning interesting stuff of ilmul adab and the rare stuff of it, including along with that with which I beautified these maqamat, meaning ayat Quraniya and beautiful kinayat, and I beautified in there Arabi quotes and adabi subtleties and nahwi puzzles and lughawi fatawas and new rasail and muzayyan khutbas, speeches, and um, admonitions which make a person cry, and jokes which distract a person from that which I dictated all of it on the tongue of Abu Zayd Saruji, and I related its narrating to Haris bin Hammam Basri, and I did not intend by bringing sour stuff in it, but to क्या तर्जमा किया था निशात तस्जीद कारी है
Energetic.
to energize the readers and to increase the amount of its seekers. And I do not place in there from any Ajnabi Ash'ar strange poetry except two isolated couplets upon which I laid the foundation of Maqama Hulwaniya's construction, and other two, which were twins, I included them towards the end of Maqama Karajiya, and whatever is besides that, then my mind is the first time writer of it, and it is the one who cut and harvested its sweet and bitter. And this is along with my admission that Badius Zaman Rahimahullah is the one who rushed ahead to the finishing line, and he is a man of miracles, and that the one who prepares after him to author one maqama, even if he was given the balaghat of Qudama ibn Maz'un, will not scoop and fill his hands except from whatever is left over of Badi'uz Zaman, and he will not travel on that route except under the guidance of Badi'uz Zaman. And to Allah belongs the beauty of the one who said, "Then, if before her crying I cried due to my love for Su'da, I would have healed myself before regretting. However, she cried before me, so her crying urged crying for me, and I said, the fazilat and virtue goes to the one who went ahead. And I have hope that I will not be in this bakwas which I have brought, and in this ghat upon which I have arrived, like the person who searched for his death with his own hoof, or who cut off the soft part of his nose with his hand. Otherwise, I would be connected, joined with those who are the worst in deeds, whose efforts went to vain in this worldly life, whilst they were thinking that they are doing good. Apart from this, I admit that even though a person who's intelligent and who calls himself dumb will close his eyes from my mistakes, and a person who is mukhlis, lover, will defend me, I am not close to escaping from an inexperienced, ignorant, or a person who has malice and pretends to be ignorant, who will put me down for writing this book, and he will scream out that such an action is prohibited in Shariat. However, if whoever checks matters with the eyes of intelligence and deepens his vision into the um, foundations of principles, will thread these maqamat into the string of books which are beneficial, and he will take these maqamat on the road of those books which were written regarding Gunge Janwar and Jamid Ashia. And that person's wording will not be heard whose ears are distanced from these stories, or who calls its narrators sinful at any given time. Then, when the basis of amal is on intentions, and with it is the इनइक़ादुल उक़ूद الدينيات, क्या तर्जुमा किया था?
और इन बयान और इन नियत के साथ दीनी उकूद के मुनक़िद होना,
the dini contracts are
The religious contracts are contracted, then what harm is there upon a person who authors and writes some namkeen, interesting stuff in order to awaken other people, not to in order to deceive people, and who takes these hikayat on the road of tehzeeb and correcting and rectifying people, not on the road of lies and fabrications. And is he in this attempt and aim except on the position of a person who responds towards hating and who guides towards the straight path? Share. Other than this, I am happy to carry my passion and escape from it without having any sin upon me nor any benefit for me. And with Allah do I take help in what I intend, and I seek protection from that which makes me blameworthy, and I seek guidance towards that which guides, because there is no refuge except to Allah, and there is no seeking help except with Allah, and there is no tawfiq except from Allah, and there is no asylum except Him, and upon Him do I rely, to Him do I turn, and from Him do we seek help, and He is the excellent helper. Chalo, I shouldn't be doing this, but I did it for you because it's the first muqaddama. Ladies, write it and send me on here. I want to check बराबर तुमने याद किया है कि नहीं किया है. अगर तुम्हारी इस्तेदाद नहीं है मकामात पढ़ने की तो कैंसिल मकामात नहीं पढ़ सकती हैं तुम. ओके, दूसरी कोई किताब पढ़ना. चलो, खुदा हाफिज.